Hi everyone, and welcome to a slightly different type of video. Today I wanted to show you how I run an online writing group. Now, this group didn't start as an online thing, it started as an in-person thing where I would periodically hold in-person writing days where we'd get a bunch of people together and we'd just write and share our work and have a good time and some snacks and drinks, but then obviously I moved to Tasmania. So we've changed the format to be held via Zoom. So as a bit of background, how this all started is ages ago I started a Facebook group for any of my friends who I knew liked to write, and we could just sort of share our work, share thoughts, etc. so on. But nothing much happened because, well, it was Facebook, it was dead. And then I thought, hey, let's actually do this. I want to do writing days, so let's actually do it. Since then, we've sort of formed, there's a core group of 4 people who attend most of these, and, you know, others who come and go when they can. I think the most we've had is, I think we had 8 or 9 people one session. Normally we're at like 3 to 4 people, which is pretty perfect. How we structure these writing days is exactly the same whether it's in person or via Zoom. The only difference is, well, you get snacks and a bit more small talk if you're in person, but of course, you know, you can do your own snacks and beverages when you're on your own. Excuse me.
You get the idea.
But the basic structure is we all get together, have a little small talk until everyone's here, then we go around, and I'm effectively the host slash moderator person, but anyone can do it, it doesn't have to be me. We'll each just share what we're planning on working on that day. After that introduction, we go into 20-minute writing sessions. At the end of each 20 minutes, we all check in with each other and just share what we've been up to, maybe ask the others for help or feedback, or, you know, just say what you've been doing. Sometimes we'll read bits of what we've been working on, sometimes we'll just say, oh, you know, I wrote a couple of 100 words, or I wrote 3 paragraphs, or whatever it is. And then that just goes on for approximately 5 or 6 sessions for about 3.5 hours is roughly what it averages out to. In terms of content, we all just work on whatever we want to work on. Me, personally, I work on my fantasy fiction novels. I am currently, actually today, working on some scripting for some stuff James and I are gonna film. I do other things. I've worked on fan fiction. Sometimes we've had people working on academic writing, on short fiction, long fiction, fan fiction, poetry, personal journaling, D&D campaigns, scripting for podcasts, or sometimes I script for YouTube videos. If it's writing, it's fine. And whether through luck or just I'm awesome and attract awesome people, every time I've done this, it's always just been a really supportive and encouraging environment, which I think is really fantastic. So something that might be a question is, how did I actually find the people to do this group with? And the short answer is, I'm a nerd. My friends are nerds. So that's just how it happened. However, in real terms, the people who have attended have been work colleagues, people I went to high school with, or friends groups that I had in high school, even though they were technically from a different high school, people that James and I had worked with through the modelling world, friends of friends, that sort of thing. It's just, you meet people, and like attracts like, and eventually when you're a creative person, you find yourself surrounded by other creative people. So broadly speaking, that's how my writing group and these writing days came about, and that's how we do things. I was planning on bringing you along for the entirety of today's writing session, but I got distracted by making tea and my husband and actually ended up being about 10 minutes late to my own thing. However, the good thing about having a bit of a regular group of people and a sort of established system is they were already started without me, which was wonderful. They were mostly done, the 3 other people who were attending today were most of the way through the introductions and talking about what they'd be working on today, and I was honestly so happy to just come in and they'd actually started without me. That is one of the best things you could hope for when you're doing something like this, is the fact that it has a bit of a life of its own, and like, yes, these people are all people that I know from my life, but it's not all about me, and yeah, I think that's really great. But they have also given me permission to film one of our, you know, the at the end of the 20 minutes where we'll just have a bit of a round table. They've given me permission to film that. You won't be seeing my screen, so you won't see anyone's faces, but you'll hear their voices. So I'll just start with me. This 20 minutes, I jumped from working on the magical realism to working on some of those Hello Adventurer scripts. I've got one written down and gonna move on to the next one. If anyone, well, next session, I can't do words, guys, I really can't. Next 20 minutes I'll be bouncing back onto the magical realism. But if anyone has any suggestions for comedic things that could be included on a bounty board in a demon shopkeeper's shop, let me know, because that's the one I'm going to work on next.
So, is it Australia specific? So could you say like a were-kangaroo, for instance?
I think we could. Like, James is open to any ideas. I'm just going to write it down.
I just like the idea of a were-kangaroo, that's fantastic.
Jordan, we should include one in the magical realism.
Yep, we can do that.
Make it a red kangaroo, because those buggers are,
Scary.
nasty. Yeah, they're hench.
If we come up with a couple of ideas, like, do you want us to, like, speak them or email them to you or something?
Just speak. I'll jot them all down along with who came up with what idea, so if we end up using any of them, we'll actually credit you guys.
Okay, my creativeness is like flowing, so now I'm just going to be focusing on thinking out loud for the next 20 minutes.
I mean, I'm not complaining. Hell yeah. But yeah, that's me, so I'm pretty happy. I'm aiming to finish 3 to 5 of those little scripts today. I mean, they're all for like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts sort of things. They've all got to be under a minute, so there's not much. It's just more of a setup, joke, punchline sort of thing.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, you've all reorganized yourselves in my screen order apparently. So Jordan, you're next.
So I picked up on where you left off in Magical Realism Story. Working title of the story is The Other Side of the Shadows. So our protagonist, Arthur, he's investigating the room that he has found underground and the strange contents within. And it's dark and there are plenty of shadows, but unlike the other shadows that have tormented and afflicted him thus far throughout the story, these ones seem benign, and he's actually quite relieved in this place.
Awesome. I'm keen to pick up on it. Hell yeah. Rhiannon!
Managed to do about another 250 words. We've now moved on to dialogue, and there is 5 characters within a single scene, and I managed to get away with not too many dialogue tags.
That's impressive.
Just enough to, because I think, like, sometimes, I don't know, I find that there's not enough dialogue tags in a group scene, or even in a scene with 2 people to signify who's speaking. Because context can help a lot, but sometimes I have to reread passages where people are not using enough dialogue tags. It's like, did Sally say that, or did Jack say that? So, I don't know, I'm hoping that in this scene, it's very clear who is speaking.
Good luck.
I think so. Thank you.
That's excellent. And Joselyn, how you doing?
So I flipped gears entirely from those commercials that I was working on, and I actually started working on, I guess, a novel or the start of a series of a novel. At the moment, I think I've worked out that there's going to be about 4 books in the series. So I've got like a brief plot summary, key themes, a redemption arc, and then I've got a summary of each of the 4 books, and I've started working on a chapter breakdown.
Oh, awesome. So you're doing a pretty hardcore outline.
Yeah, it's not going to last though. I like very rarely ever do this, and once I start, once I stop, that's pretty much probably going to be it. and I'll just never look at it again.
Fair enough.
So.
What genre?
Fantasy. So it's got, where's my little blur? I wrote it somewhere. So it's got elements of high fantasy, romance, adventure with a strong, complex heroine, and hopefully a richly detailed world that's just full of magic and danger. So
Nice.
it's
Good luck.
typical, yeah,
Sounds like a lot of work.
yeah, it's like your typical romanticy bullshit that's, you know, trending on TikTok at the moment.
Hey,
Everybody loves reading that though.
Yeah, right.
Don't be trained to write it.
I just binged an 8-book fantasy romance series in a week.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's a thing.
Love it. Love
Oh
it.
yeah, no, that's very, very fucking good.
Can I just get a read on the room? Like, have you ever found when you're writing a piece of fiction, if you outline the hell out of it and you know sort of down to a fair amount of detail what you want to have, what you want to plan in the story, you find it more difficult to just get in a draft, and then vice versa, where you kind of don't have the best clue about how it's going to end. It just frees you up to just draft more. And is that just me, or?
Alrighty then, everybody. Let's heads down, bombs up for a bit longer, and we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Alright. So that's what it's like when we have one of our catch-ups after we've done a bit of a writing session. Obviously, it varies, but this is just an example of what these writing days are like. But yeah, hope that's been interesting.
3 hours later.
3.5 hours and most of a beer later, this writing day is done. That might have been a bit of a haphazard vlog, but in a sense, these events are just kinda haphazard. That's just what it is. Today I managed to finish 5 one-minute video scripts and wrote 940 words on the collaboration novel that my friend Jordan and I are working on, which is a magical realism called The Other Side of the Shadows, which is really quite fun, sort of like Australian Gothic, and yeah, it's really cool. We bounce it off between us every 20 minutes, and so yeah, all in all, pretty productive day. I'm really quite happy with that, and as always, it's just fun to write in company. Like one of the members of the group today gave me heaps and heaps of suggestions for things for the scripts that I was writing for James, and it's just, you know, at some point people were talking about Sufi poetry and, you know, Dante's Inferno. I can't do words. I'm gonna stop talking because I'm a little bit worded out at the moment. But yeah, that is how I host my writing group and my writing days. I found it's a really, really good thing to do. It's fun, it really helps me be motivated. And yeah, I'm actually finally starting to do these regularly, like on a once a month basis. And so far that's been really good for me, and I hope it continues to be good. But anyway, you know, now you've seen how I do it, you can do it too. Or I mean, you can potentially join my Australian time zones, but you know, if you want to join, just put a comment, send me a message, what else. Anyway, gonna stop talking. I hope you enjoyed that video, and until next time, bye bye.